Good morning, guys. Good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on where you're seeing this video from. So, I would like to thank you all for sitting through with me, all the way to, glory in this save from National League, of course, all the way to the Premier League, and now we've just won it. Um, I want to show you something. Throughout this save, I've been complaining about defensive solidity, but then I think I have figured out something because this season I am the second best in terms of defensive, solidity in the league, only second to Nottingham Forest, you know. So this is a big thing, considering the fact that most of the goals that I have conceded, I conceded them early on in the season. This is where I was conceding these goals. This is where I was conceding the goals. Most of the goals conceded were somewhere here. So what I did was, after after a few games, actually after a few games, after 4 5 games in the league, I was 10 points behind Man City. They were at 12 points and I was at 2 points. So I had to change up something because I knew that my previous tactics, I would say, were not going to work. So I reverted back to one of the tactics that I used to use back in FM24, and that I used to the closest thing I've ever gotten to the real FM in Football Manager Touch. So this formation, I don't know what you'd call it, whether you'd call it 4-2-3 or 5-2-3, or whether you call it 3-4-3, whatever you call it. But this thing seems to work for me when I'm playing narrow. I do not know why and I do not know how, but it's been working for me throughout from Football Manager Touch. I took uh, I took another team from relegation in the national leagues to champions. I've been doing road to glory in a lot of games apart from the real FM, and this tactic seems to work for me. I don't know how, I don't know why, but this seems to work. So if you guys would have a chance, so you could try it out. So let me just put some warnings there for you. It won't work if you're playing through balls. It will only work when you're playing run at defense. If you're playing through balls, the only people who'll be scoring are the midfielders, the wingers, and the wide forwards. For your main striker, he will have a little bit of trouble when it comes to scoring because of this defensive setup. Your defense is set too high, pressuring the opponents too high, minimizing the space. Okay, you are minimizing the space too much, so which means your striker doesn't have any room to run into those through balls. There's no room for through ball. There's no single room for through ball. So that's why you use run at defense, because when it comes to run at defense, you actually create space. You do not wait for space to open up. You create space when you run at defense. So your main striker will exploit this, because this guy will create space for him. This guy will create space for him. This guy will create space for him. This. All these players will be creating space for this guy. So which means he will be twisting and turning and finding space to score. So again, this works when you're playing narrow. I do not know why, I do not know, but I've tried this in different variations, but this is how it works. When you're playing narrow and you're playing attacking or overload, when you're playing counter, it never works, because it's an overload type of formation. When you're in attack, you're overloading the attack with 7 players in attack, the neutralizers here in the midfielders, and the attacking wingers in the fullbacks, in the wing backs, and then the support team in the wide forwards, and then the main attacking guy. So it's all about overloads. When you're overloading the opponent's half, when you're overloading your own half in terms of defense, this this whole half here will be defending, and then when you're attacking, this whole half here will be attacking. So when you're trying to play a type of shape that is balanced, it will not work, because now where are they going to go? They will just be stuck up in midfield. Okay, so you are rather they are stuck up high, and then when you lose the ball, they are stuck up down low. Okay, so I hope I'm getting somewhere here. Let me just see him a few days so that we could see if my players got something to the season. So my main player here in Byung-Kookma, he and I got a manager of the year. This is my second manager of the year in the Premier League. Thank you so much. And Byung-Kookma is not there. Oh, he's the top goal scorer. So this is his fifth. His fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. His fifth, golden boot in a row, the Premier League. So it's funny that, this season we had a North Korean, a South Korean, not North Korea, a South Korean type of, we have two players from South Korea, manning up and stealing the spots there. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. In terms of performances, of course, in the league, player stats. Where are the player stats? Player stats. We have right there. We have right there. You see Maduro right there with the highest assists. So this is what I'm talking about. I want to leave you these tactics because I want to see if this thing will work for you too. So there's nothing like you losing a game because the other team was better than you. No. The other team is going to have to be significantly better than you for them to beat you. Look at this. We nearly got to the Champions League final. Last season we won the Champions League, but then we nearly got to the Champions League final. Unluckily, we lost against Lamine Yamal's PSG. But then when you look at the stats, we did quite well for ourselves. We didn't do badly apart from Leon Jarovic. How do you pronounce his name? This guy was the only guy who was having a bad game that day. Everybody else was quite normal. Okay? Everything else was quite normal. It's just that the game didn't work out as we had planned. Lemony Yamal there. So this is the tactic. You know that I've been struggling with defense. I've been struggling to balance up attacking and defense. Okay? So I have gone back to the tactics that I was using back in Football Manager 24, and Football Manager Touch. And they seem to still be working. I thought they were going to be dead. So I thank you so much, guys, for watching this serve. And let me check my manager profile here. Survivor specialist. I'm a resolute manager. I'm an entertainer, big spender. I don't believe this. I'm not a big spender. In 11 season, gang pressing. It's funny how this is gang pressing. No. It's vertical tic-tac, man. It's not gang pressing. It's funny how it took 11 years to get to where I'm at. A few more years I would have gotten a son, but I have to sign out, guys. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you so much for those likes that you gave me. You guys, they motivated me to finish this. Otherwise, my ADHD wouldn't let me have it. So I am lucky to have you guys. So thank you so much, and I hope you all have a good time, a wonderful time. God bless you guys. Thank you.